Okay. It is my pleasure to visit the AU-ASRIC office in Abuja. The African Union Scientific and Technological Research Commission is one of the specialized agencies of the African Union that is responsible for the development of science and technology in the continent and is under the framework of the African Consolidated Plan of Action and STRC 2024 for the development of continental frameworks. And this AU-ASRIC responds to Africa's economic and development challenges. Of course, the AU-ASRIC is headed by a committed and passionate scientist, Dr. Ahmed Hamdi, and he has a team, a very good team, of dedicated workers working with him. I have listened to all what you do, and I'm very proud to be associated and to be the Commissioner for Human Resources, Science and Technology, because the AU-ASRIC speaks technology, speaks science, speaks innovation, speaks research and development. The AU-ASRIC office responds to the need of STRC and the priority goals of STRC, and that is why for us in the African Union Commission, and particularly the Department of Human Resources, Science and Technology, need to commend the efforts of the staff who have dedicated themselves to make sure that this office is in order and is working towards the vision of an integrated, prosperous and peaceful Africa, driven by its own competent and skillful citizen, to be able to compete in the global arena in order that we have the Africa we want by 2063, which can only be realized by us consolidating on science, technology, innovation, research and development. This Africa we want is very, very essential, and that is why the head of states and governments of the African member states made it very, very important to put a 50-year plan divided into 5 phases of 10 years each, and in each 10-year plan there are strategies and policies put in place to make sure we realize this vision of the El Dorado that Africa can become. So it is very, very important for us to have this STRC. But knowing fully well that the STRC has been existing without a budgetary line, except for 2018, yet they have been able to record successes, is something we need to commend the executive director as well as his dedicated staff who are Pan-Africanists and who have seen a vision and remain passionate about the ideas of what can make Africa to become what it wants. Having said this, it is also very essential after listening to you to take note of the importance and contribution that the STRC have done in the field of scientific, technological research in Africa. And listening to you, I have understood that STI is very, very important to the development of the Africa we want. And it is for this reason that I say that the AU-ASRIC represents the dream of the AU member states for STI and R&D, because the vision and the goals are spearheaded towards the realization of the African we had, spearheaded for the promotion and role of science in the African continent. And this is why the STRC has a mandate to develop a policy analysis for the implementation of STRC 2024. And from your presentation, I've listened to 16 projects under this STRC 2024. And all this can only be implemented by a specialized institution that is created by the AU for the development of science, technology, and innovation. So for this, I want to commend you for the implementation of the various phases of the African Union Network of Sciences, which is a virtual network that involves a wide range of individuals. To be able to bring them together in one room, to be able to discuss the problem of science, technology, and innovation, and to be able to provide solutions is very, very essential. So I want to appreciate your classification of the thematic clusters: engineering, agriculture, mathematics, etc. And the partners you have with very significant partners such as the African Association for Science or the African Academy of Science. Then phase 2 of this African Union Network of Sciences that you have carried out and you have implemented, it is good that you were able to develop that portal, which is on the testing phase. So we say bravo, and we say that the live chat that you have under this portal is essential for intra-African researchers in order to build research clusters. This will also assist junior researchers to have expertise from their senior ones. And that is what we say, that we need competent and skilled youths to be able to lead this continent forward. And of course, the e-library you've also been able to create through this portal is also very essential. Because when we talk science, technology, and innovation, we need to know what has taken place or what has been done in particular fields. And this can only be done by the library. And if researchers are able to be registered in this portal, then they can have access to data that they cannot easily have access to. Then the African Science, Technology, Innovation Challenges and Climate Change. The impact of climate change in Africa cannot be overemphasized. And that is why for you to be able to work in order to create this kind of an organ on how we can mitigate climate change through agriculture is very, very essential. So mitigating the impact of natural hazards in Africa and your setting up of what you have called the Africa Seismological Association is very essential and should be applauded. This is one of the success stories of the AU-ASRIC in Abuja. Further to that is health. One of our cardinal goals is health and well-being. We know that a healthy man is a wealthy man, and a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. So the African Health Research Capacity Building, which consolidates the India African Health Science Corporation, is important in the training capacity on health professionals, researchers, regulators, and industry staff. For you to be able to have been able to do this, we should be able to commend it. So the AU-STRC is not just there as a symbol or as a building, but is actually implementing the dreams of Agenda 2062 of an integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by its own competent and skillful citizens. For the Africa we want, health is wealth. And translational research in the health center will be functional to the society, making the society a knowledge-based society. So Africa Health Research Capacity Building with the other partners that you've been able to mention, like UNESCO, like MAS, and even the research summit that you attended, is also a plus for what the AU-STRC office has been able to deliver. When we talk about deliverables, in the world of science, we are saying that when it comes to STEM, women should be more participative. How do we influence women to participate? For this reason, I'm very happy that you've been able to mention to me that you have the women participation in sciences program study, which you have carried out on how women can be capacitated and can be encouraged to participate in Africa's innovation, scientific situation, in order to boost the knowledge society that we are talking about. So the development of research grant schemes with women in science is very, very essential. And I support this, this proposal that you have put on the platform. And we need more political commitment, more political will to be able to make these women to participate in science, to participate in technology. In fact, women in science advocacy needs to be promoted. The Enlightenment campaign needs to be encouraged. So with this, the Department of the HRST, as well as the African Union Commission, will be able to follow up with the AU-STRC, which has become our specialized organ to make sure that science is science and women are participating for us to have an inclusive society. When it comes to the strengthening and establishment of African societies and scientific field and research, you spoke about the African Environmental Society. And this African Environmental Society advocates for the environment and other related issues to the environment. This facilitates and promotes the realization and harmonization of environmental issues. We commend the 400 environmental societies that the office of the AU-ASRIC has been able to get together, and which 400 environmental societies are willing to work with the AU-ASRIC. And as mentioned, the first General Assembly of the African Environmental Society is going to take place on the second quarter of 2018. This will enable them to contribute in the development of the Africa we want. And of course, we talk about youth, the future of tomorrow. The Federation of African Engineering Organizations, which help the development of Africa's standardization guidelines and strengthens national bodies, working hand in hand with the Royal Academy of Engineering in the UK. These Africa's standardization guidelines will facilitate inter-African trade, particularly in the heat of the moment that we have just signed the African Continental Trade Free Movement Agreement. It is very, very essential for us, and we need this standardization so that when we speak on the same page and we are there. Now, the priority area of living together, building society, and wealth creation, you've been able to create a program that you mentioned that is the STI for youth empowerment and wealth creation. This is very, very essential against the backdrop of post-conflict rebuilding that we are experiencing in areas like South Sudan, in Somalia, in Nigeria, etc. So when youth are empowered in STI, then they are able to build their capacities. Then we have a peaceful society and a peaceful environment. We believe in the African Union Commission that youths need to be empowered, and the area of that empowerment has to come from science, technology, innovation, has to come from the enhancement of the continental TVET strategy that we have for Africa. So the inclusive innovation, which is the root for Africa's economic prosperity and competitiveness, is also very essential, which is also one of the ways you have reacted to some of the aspirations of STISA 2024. This is essential, and there's just no way we cannot commend this, because this inclusive or through inclusive innovation, we can make use of indigenous knowledge, community innovation that you have mentioned as SOOK, to examine how we can lead this continent forward. Over this is the health research translation you mentioned. And this health research translation is a systematic effort to convert basic research knowledge into practical application to enhance human health and well-being. You have been able to have different models of research translators. I want to commend the AU-STRC office for being able to bring together 150 mid-career scientists together to get the challenges and the solutions concerning how we can be able to move forward. And this STI Business Incubators project, which intends to provide strategic support in startup SMEs, and scientific creating inclusive solutions to challenges in rural agriculture and others. It is very, very essential. In fact, the priority one, STISA priority one, is based on biotechnology and the recalibration of agriculture in order to give these youth a new means of having jobs, to become job creators and not job seekers. And one of the interesting projects you've also mentioned is the PIPO. This PIPO provides a broad-based platform and for African member states to benefit from a coordinated stock of specialized intellectual property, knowledge and services with a view to promoting innovation, techno-industrial competitiveness, intra-African trade and economic growth. It is very essential we work together as one. Because Desmond Tutu says in Ubuntu, I am because we are. If we don't work together, then we cannot achieve the dream we want. An African proverb says that the future for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And one way of preparing for it today is to have specialized organs like we have at AU-STRC, for us to be able to bring our team of experts together in the area of science, technology, and innovation to be able to actualize the Pan-African dreams of our forefathers when they created the Organization of African Union, which translated to African Union. So it is very, very essential. We commend the AU-STRC, and as Commissioner for Human Resources, Science and Technology, on behalf of the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, we want His Excellency, Dr. Musa Faki Mahaman, We want to commend the job being done in AU-STRC, and we are saying more vision, more passion, more commitment and dedication to the ideals of the Pan-African values that have brought us together, that we have a mandate to make sure that Africa emerges by 2063, and it starts with this AU-STRC. So I say, Viva Africa, Amanda.